Most new insurance producers feel like this job is way more complicated than it needs to be. It all boils down to two things: sales, bringing in new customers, and service, keeping the ones you got. If it ever feels more complicated than that, chances are one of those systems is out of alignment. I explain it this way because there is so much noise out there. If you listen to five different gurus, they're going to tell you five different things, and they're all going to say this is the one best way. One person is going to say, cold calling's dead. Content is the only way. The next person's going to say, you got to cold call like crazy. A third person's going to say, you got to have a timeline of services to differentiate yourself with a value added proposition. And when you're just getting started, you don't know how to do any of those things. And it all sounds like noise. And how do you separate what's going to actually help you get to the promised land? Because what we all want is a model that we can copy that's going to help us accomplish our goals. There's a million things you can spend your time on, but the way you need to sort it is, does it help you win new business and does it help you keep new business? And if it's not going to help you do one of those two things, you shouldn't spend time on it. So let's dig into both of those things and talk about what should be in your systems. Your sales system needs 6 key components. Let's walk through them one by one. First, you need a target market. Sure, as an independent agent, you could insure almost anything, but that doesn't mean you should. The truth is, the more focused you are, the more successful you'll be. I made videos on how to choose a niche and how to be the obvious choice. Go check those out if you're still figuring it out. Second, you need to define your value proposition. What makes you different from the next person dialing for a quote? Sales gurus will give you all kinds of answers: negotiate better rates, build timelines of services, talk XMOD analysis, and honestly, they all work if you commit to one. The good news is most of your competition is just calling and asking to quote, and that's a pretty low bar to beat. But you want to be the person that's actually improving the customer's business, and that's what will make you stand out. Third, you need a marketing process. How are you going to get in front of your target market? Everyone starts in the same place. Your ideal customer has no idea who you are, and your job is to take that stranger and to turn them into someone who wants to talk to you. That takes branding, email, LinkedIn, phone calls, drop-ins, all of it. I made a video called Cold Calling for Insurance Producers that walks you through this. Check it out if you want a playbook. Fourth, you need a sales process that can help turn a first meeting into a paying client. You'll need a qualification call, a deeper protection or risk review, and a clear, compelling presentation. Most winning producers have some version of this 3-step rhythm. And if you don't map it out ahead of time, you'll lose track of where your prospects are in the sales process and your deals will stall out. Fifth, and this is crucial, we are in the insurance business. You need to have a system to make sure you get the insurance right so you don't get sued. I use checklists and spreadsheets to run coverage comparisons, so I do it the same way every time. And I stole this idea from Charlie Munger. He said, you can be the smartest guy, but checklists help. If it works for billionaires, it can work for brokers like us. Don't wing it. Use a checklist. Do it right every time. Sixth, you need to sell the risk to the underwriter, because if they don't say yes, nothing else matters. Underwriters have 300 files to work on and can only handle about 150. Your job is to make sure your submission gets to the top of the pile. Be easy to work with. Present clear, clean, organized, and well thought out accounts. The underwriters want to work with closers. So be the closer, and your submissions will get the attention they deserve. When you build a system for each of these 6 pieces, that's when your sales results start to take off. Now, let's take a look at what your retention system should include. Retention boils down to 4 key components, so let's break them down. First, what is your process for responding to customer questions? Ideally, you've got an account manager helping with basics like certificates of insurance, vehicle changes, and adding locations. But one of the fastest ways to lose a customer is by making them feel ignored. If their questions don't get answered quickly and accurately, they'll start looking for a different agent. Second, what proactive value are you delivering throughout the year? This will look different based on the industry or niche that you're serving. For example, in accounts with lots of change in vehicle or locations, my team will check in monthly to make sure those lists are accurate and up to date. This helps us avoid uncovered claims, incorrect addresses, or billing problems. So ask yourself, what do my clients need throughout the year that I can anticipate and I can help with before they ask? That's proactive service and it makes you indispensable. Third, how do you make sure your clients have the right coverage year after year? One of the best ways to do this is with an annual review. And this is where you revisit the same coverage checklist we talked about in the sales system. Businesses evolve, they add vehicles, they change operations, they take on new contracts. Your job is to make sure their insurance program evolves with them and that they're not exposed without realizing it. Fourth, and this one's huge, how are you making sure your clients are getting the best deal? That doesn't always mean the lowest price. It means the best value, but you need a plan for when you're going to remarket the account, how early you're going to start renewal conversations, and how to avoid last minute surprises that kill trust. Customers get angry when they feel blindsided. Avoid that at all costs. One last thing to remember, a strong retention system is one of your best sales strategies. A huge part of what people hate about insurance is that once the sale is done, the relationship disappears. But if you can explain how you're going to take care of your clients after the sale, that becomes a huge value proposition during the sales process. So, in fact, a lot of your future wins will come from your ability to clearly communicate how you serve clients that you win. Here's what it looks like when your systems are out of alignment. On the sales side, you're not getting enough appointments. This could mean you're not focused enough on a specific target market, or your value proposition isn't clear or compelling, or maybe no one knows who you are because you're not doing enough outbound marketing. Maybe your close ratio is low, and that usually comes down to not having a solid sales process, no clear path from qualification to close. Or maybe underwriters just aren't picking up your submissions, which is often a sign your files aren't clear and complete. All of these are clues that your sales system needs attention. On the service side, the red flag is low retention. Customers leave when they can't get what they need, they feel like someone else can do it better, or they don't see the value in staying with you. If you're leaking customers on the back end, it's time to fix your service systems. But here's the most important part, sales and service are completely connected. It's hard to serve customers well if you don't have a clear target market, and it's hard to bring real value if you don't understand their business. And the flip side, it's hard to sell with confidence if you have no idea how you're going to take care of the client after they buy. These systems work together. When both are dialed in, you'll not only bring in more customers, you'll keep them, grow them, and generate more revenue than you know what to do with. That's how you scale your business. You build systems, you align them, and you stick to them, and everything else falls into place. Thank you so much for watching. If this was helpful, hit like and subscribe. If you've got questions about what should be in your systems, drop them in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching, and please go build something great.